stand against? What do they stand for? They say they're a political party, that they may evolve into one. Looking at what they are standing on today, it seems as if they are some kind of centrist group, not dissimilar from Tony Blair's New Labour. The problem with that is many are unconvinced the politics of the past is the key to success in the future, particularly when today's politics, many argue, is in reaction to that era. People were fed up with that kind of politics. There are other questions too. Who's going to lead them? Who is going to fund them? History suggests that breakthrough parties are doomed to failure. This one does threaten one's success. Jeremy Corbyn will be worried that they may well keep him out of government.
Very interesting times. Paul, thank you. Train companies are promising to simplify ticket prices under new proposals. They want to axe traditional peak and off-peak fares and introduce tap-in, tap-out payment systems, but industry experts are warning that fares will still rise. Well, more from our consumer editor in just a moment, but first, here's Sally Biddulph.
Billed as a once-in-a-generation change to ticketing, it's out with the old fare system and in with the new, based on what passengers want. A staggering 20,000 of them responded to the consultation on what it should look like. Commuters like Josine Atsma from Gleneagles in Scotland. She has all but abandoned using the train after her everyday journey to Stirling worked out to be £6 more expensive than if she travelled the same distance on the same line in the opposite direction.
I find out that I've been paying 40% more than if I were to travel to Perth, which is the other way around. I just thought it was super unfair. I thought, wait a minute, that's just not right, is it?
The proposals include scrapping peak and off-peak pricing to better spread demand across the day, guaranteeing the cheapest price with no need to buy split tickets to get a better fare, and tap-in, tap-out technology across the country so passengers can pay as you go. The current fare system hasn't been touched since 1990, and according to campaigners, it no longer fits with our working lives, especially for season ticket holders. They do welcome today's proposals, but say the real issue of spiralling cost hasn't been addressed.
But of course the elephant in the room remains the annual fare rise. We've long highlighted that we don't think it's value for money, that hard-pressed commuters are paying above inflation rises for their season tickets when wages are rising.
Trials of the new fare system will begin later this year, and if successful, they'll be rolled out by each train operator in turn over the next 3 to 5 years. Sally Biddulph, ITV News.
Well, our consumer editor Chris Choi is currently on the 12:38 to Colchester train right now. He spoke to us a little earlier.
This is likely to happen, but it could take some time. Welcome to us live on the 12:38 between Liverpool Street and Colchester, part of a system where tickets are in many respects outdated and long overdue for reform. Who says so? Well, the train industry itself. I'm joined here by their spokesperson, Robert Nisbet. Robert, you did a massive exercise asking passengers what they thought of your tickets. What did they tell you?
We were amazed at the number of people that got involved, 20,000 in total, but we also spoke to 60 umbrella organisations representing hundreds of thousands of businesses, and they said the system is just not fit for purpose, that it doesn't reflect the way that we live our lives. For commuters, for example, that don't necessarily do the Monday to Friday 9 to 5 anymore.
There are these completely crackers aspects whereby you can be paying just a few pounds less for a single than for a return. What are you going to do about those real big anomalies?
Well, these rules were set in stone 25 years ago when we lived very different lives, and ticket types are regulated, and we think fare level should be regulated instead.
Many of these ticket policies go back a quarter of a century. They're in urgent need of change, and yet you're talking about it potentially taking up to 5 years to sort it out. Surely that's too long.
Where we can, the rail industry has gone as far as it can, but we need to change the legal underpinning to the fare system, and that requires government assistance. So we have to do it with government. That is why it could take between 3 to 5 years, but we are ready to start real-world trials now.
But do we trust you as the industry to get this right? You've not had a good year.
We've had a pretty awful year in certain places. We acknowledge that. We know that that is the case, but we are saying that we will work together with government now to deliver the best possible system for people, an easier system, easy to understand.
Well, Elizabeth, thank you very much indeed. And from the 12:38 to Colchester, back to you in the studio.
There's more on that story and a guide to how split ticketing works on our website. Just head to itv.com/news. Facebook's managers have been accused of acting like digital gangsters who are allowing democracy to be put at risk by a group of MPs. The Digital Culture, Media and Sport Select Committee has spent 18 months investigating how fake news on social media is influencing our lives. They described the wave of false stories as relentless and suggested Russian agents were among those trying to discredit democracy. They suggested sites consider themselves to be beyond the law. Damien Collins is the Conservative MP whose committee was behind today's report, and we're joined in the studio by Will Moy from the charity called Full Fact that was set up to independently check stories. Thank you both for joining me this lunchtime. Damien Collins, let's begin with you. And what are these sites doing so wrong, and how will this code of conduct deal with this?
Well, our concerns are that the companies are not effective enough at dealing with known sources of harmful or illegal content, and I'd include within that extreme forms of disinformation and fake news. We're concerned about the way they protect users' data, and that we think there are plenty of occasions where they've gathered users' data and shared it with other developers, other companies, without those users really being aware of that. And we're concerned as also about the way in which companies like Facebook use their dominant market position to bully and even sometimes close down competitor businesses as well. And that's why we feel there needs to be a code of conduct, similar in some ways to the code of conduct that already exists for broadcasters. It could be defined by Parliament. We could define in particular what we think harmful content is. It could then be down to an independent regulator to oversee the social media companies to make sure they are effective at removing content that shouldn't be there. And
can't people make up their own minds? Sorry, David Collins, can't people make up their own minds for themselves? Why do we need MPs to legislate the so-called fake news?
Well, there's different grades of content, but where, let's say it's a fake film of a politician giving a speech they never gave, it's been created digitally on a computer, and it's being circulated around on the internet, it's whipping up hatred, it's causing concern, it's trying to persuade people how they might vote in an election. Shouldn't we have the power to say, well, actually, the tech companies should be responsible, and they should remove that content? And I think that's why we need these sorts of codes. And it doesn't just apply to fake news, it could apply to harmful images of children, jihadi recruitment videos. We need more robust systems to make the tech companies take these content issues seriously.
David Collins, thank you. I'm going to bring in Will Moy at this point. You work for Full Fact. I mean, this is your area of expertise. I mean, you look at this material constantly. What kind of stories, we heard a few of them there from David Collins, are catching people out?
Well, we've looked at 3 areas where we're particularly concerned that there's real-world harm associated with online misinformation. One is during elections, and false information about how to vote, for example, can rob you of your democratic rights. One is after emergencies, such as terrorist attacks. False information about who might be missing can leave families waiting at home distraught unnecessarily. And also about people's health. People go online to look for health information. So there are times when disinformation makes a real difference.
We're talking about harmful content here, but I mean, how easy or how difficult is it to discern what is this harmful content to find it?
It's extremely difficult.
Yeah.
And fact-checking can take minutes, but it can also take hours, days or weeks. We've been doing it for 10 years now. A lot of our fact-checking is actually aimed at politicians and journalists. And it's worth remembering that politicians who've done this report today are not the most trusted group of people in the country. But we are aware, from the beginning, we've been saying free speech is the most important thing here. Exactly the question you asked. And to give them credit, they have spent 18 months thinking about this. They have not rushed into it, and they have identified real harms that deserve a response.
All right, Will Moy, Damien Collins as well. Thank you both for joining me this lunchtime. Thank you. Well, the Brexit Secretary, Stephen Barclay, will meet with the EU's chief negotiator, Michel Barnier, later to resume talks. They will discuss plans drawn up by a group of Tories seeking a compromise solution to avoid the controversial Irish backstop. Paul Flynn, the long-standing Labour MP who represented Newport West for 32 years, has died aged 81. Jeremy Corbyn said he was an independent thinker who will be greatly missed. The daughter of Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe has written an emotional message to her father, who she hasn't seen for almost 3 years, saying she loves him. Gabriella, who is 4, is being raised by her maternal grandparents in Iran, where her mother is in prison on spying